Welcome to Just Koryzma, episode 47. I'm your host, Braden Koryzma, and joining me today is Henry Zhang.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Braden?
Pretty good, thank you. So Henry, this guy's gonna be like the dentistry master, you know? Like, this guy's gonna crush it. And also, Henry and I used to go to high school together, so which is really cool. So Henry's back in from Toronto for the first year, so how is dentistry school how are you dealing with that so far?
It's quite a change. I think the greatest change was transitioning from a small city like Nanaimo,
Yeah.
with a population of 90,000. Then you go
Something
into
like that,
the heart of downtown Toronto, which is around 1 million people, just condensed. So from 24 hours in the day, you see people on the streets all the time.
Yeah.
And then there's also bright LED lights from the big screens advertising, and it's just such a change. Also, there's no nature, which kind of sucks.
Totally.
It's just a concrete jungle. So you have to, if you're used to seeing the oceans, the grass, even children. Yeah, I haven't seen children in downtown Toronto. They're rare.
Yeah.
And then you just have to find your way through that. And school is not that difficult. It's challenging, but I feel like when the application process weeded out people that they found suitable that could handle the course load and they've already proved themselves.
Yeah.
And then the transition was just you finding your work school life balance. Pretty much. Yeah.
So do you find that the transition from the university here to the university in Toronto, do you find the course load harder, or do you find it like a healthy challenge?
I wouldn't say it's harder. From undergrad, I think the most courses I've taken was 7 courses in a semester, and then just to I think I took one extra by accident. I didn't choose this, but it was just to test me to have a taste of what can I handle.
Okay.
And I thought that would prepare me going in.
Totally.
So then I took that. I did really well, and I felt how hard can it get, right? And I go into Toronto, now I have my own place. I have to figure out how to balance taking care of chores and duties on top of coming home from 8 a.m. To 5 p.m. weekdays. Every single weekday I have to come back to cook, all that shit.
Totally.
And then I'm gonna be trying to push in some time to study. So then it's just different because it feels like we also have more courses. So we have 8 courses right now for the first year throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
And so we have 8 courses on top of your life balance. So you just have to find that what's a happy medium, you know?
Totally.
Don't overwork yourself.
And how did you find your happy medium?
It was a trial and error process, honestly.
Okay.
I knew once I got in, I didn't have to pull up 90+%. So I just knew I'll do my best.
Totally.
I'll learn everything that's applicable to the very fullest, and hands-on, I'll make sure I'm very good. So that was my logic going in. I also had to change my mindset. If you were to get 75-80%, that's it. That's perfect. All you need is 60% plus to pass.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's my aim now. So I was getting that. So the burden and mental stress was pretty much at a minimum. So now I'm finding out, so how efficiently can I study? Can I just pump out 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day? Don't compare yourself to other people, because I have classmates 80% of them, they're studying till 3 a.m. every morning, hitting up class at 8 a.m., repeating.
That sounds horrible.
Horrible.
You need sleep.
Exactly.
And the fact you're gonna go home, probably study for 6 hours or whatever, that just sounds like it's mentally draining.
It is. You could see transition. You can see physically a bunch of students. If starting off the year, they had friendly faces, a glow to them, and then you see transitioning. It's coming to the end of first semester, almost winter break, and you see them. They have huge bags on their eyes, and they just look ghosty.
That's brutal, crazy. Man. Oof. I don't know if I could handle a course. Knowing me, I wouldn't study for 6 hours or something. But it would be that'd just be too hard for me.
Yeah.
But that's great that you were able to I guess decrease that mental burden, so you're not you didn't get that. I guess you were always a straight A student in high school, right? And and from what I understand in university and stuff. So to go from needing to hit that 90 plus, and then all of a sudden you're able to like relax and be like 75. That's great. Like fuck yeah. Like let's keep this up. Like if I get a 90, that's even better. But like
exactly.
as long as I'm passing is what matters, and you got into the school, so that's always the great steps.
Yeah, and it's important thing is like. I say just passing, but I'm not aiming to pass. I'm aiming to do my best.
Of course.
But I'm not thinking like, oh man, I need to memorize every single word.
Yeah.
On like a textbook, on a lecture, whatever. Like there's so much like crap that's just oblivious and just for context that you do not need to know in the future. And I will like minimize that because it was just add on and pile up too fast and too much.
Totally, and then you're getting overwhelmed, and then you're gonna then you'll this is where people get like anxiety. This is where people get just crushed under stress, and then have you had did you have any classmates drop out in the first semester or first year?
Everybody has their own specific niche, like clique within the 96 people in our class.
Okay.
And then I know at least one person in each clique, but like from what I've heard, the thing was for dentistry, there was probably, I say in our class, maybe 10 people who applied to both medicine and dentistry.
Okay.
So, but I guess they got the interview in medicine, but they were rejected post-interview, but they got accepted into dentistry, so they took the back route. So they just decided to, okay, I'm not going to waste a year, I'm going to go into dentistry now, even though that wasn't their first choice.
Yeah.
So we have 10 people that really they were not passionate about dentistry, teeth, whatever, and then now they're in it, and then you can hear going in, you could hear a lot of people bitching about the course load, all of this, because I understand this as well as they don't have a passion towards studying it, as well as you have to be your manual dexterity has to be on point. It's actually pretty crazy. They might lack that. Or they don't care, and people are frustrated all the time in labs and clinics, and then you hear over talking. It's like, hey, you could overhear. I heard one person asked one of their friends, "Would you miss me if I left?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Huh. But I mean, that kind of sucks for the people that get partnering with these people that aren't 100% ready for dentistry.
Yeah.
It's kind of just oh, these are both good jobs, I prefer this.
Right.
But then you get into this and they're like, all right, well, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
It's not yourself where you're since I've known you, you've been passionate about you're I want to be a dentist.
Yeah, for sure.
And you've always been like that, and that's great. And now you're in dentistry and you're super passionate about it. You're crushing it. You're, you have one goal, and that is to work hard in the school. So whoever's partnered with you is gonna be lucky because you're studying, you're focused, you're not easily distracted or you're not gonna half-ass anything.
Right. It's just my mission. It's my main goal at the end of the day when it's all said and done. I just want to be the best dentist possible.
Totally.
In my world, Which is
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, how do you have you done any labs then? How did you find the labs in the first year, if there was any?
So usually even in when you're selecting major in undergrad, your arts or science or biology, whatever, you have specific courses in the first year that are pretty generalized to the major you're wanting, right?
Okay.
You get exposed to everything. It's the same as going to medicine and dentistry. So for dentistry, we get exposed to everything, every single specialty, because in dentistry you can specialize, you can be a prosthodontist, endodontist, orthodontist, braces, all that. So we have every single basic knowledge for each of those courses condensed into a specific course throughout the year, and that will be brought on to us, and then so we get exposed to, for right now, what I've learned in clinic is I've learned how to scale and explore teeth.
Okay.
So just what hygienists do, and as well as we've learned proper positioning and ergonomics for dentist/patient workspace. Also in the more hands-on clinic in restorative dentistry, we have already learned how to drill. There's 6 classes of drilling like drill and fill, the classic drill and fill.
Okay.
So like for cavities, there's 6 cases, different cases that you'll classify as 1 to 6.
Yep.
And then we've learned the basics, the knowledge about all 6.
Okay.
But we've practiced like class 1, class 2, class 3. So class 1 is just in your grooves, so on your teeth where you bite, you see the pits and the cusps and all of that.
Okay, yeah.
So I can drill cavities from there, as well as like on the interproximal, so between teeth, so the anterior and posterior teeth. I've learned that. Takes like the burr itself, as well as the burrs are like pretty much drill bits.
Okay, yeah.
For context. And then the burrs, as well as the high-speed drill, is revving around over 200,000 revolutions per second. So, and then the thing about this is that I've never knew how much control you need. Like when you're drilling into something, if a tooth is being drilled at that velocity, shit's flying everywhere.
Totally.
Know? Like, and then if you just slightly maneuver it wrong one way, like you're not careful, or your grip was too loose, or you slip, man, that's like 3 millimeters of your tooth gone. And then like every millimeter counts.
Okay.
Every millimeter counts, as well as like everybody thinks, I thought before I did all of this and learned about that, like dentists just go in, they see the cavity or whatever on the x-ray, they go in with the drill and they go bzz, 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 and then it's gone now. There's like an ugly looking space out where the cavity was, and then he just drilled around it or all that shit. But like you have to take into consideration now variation, as well as like each of your teeth are like alive, right? So they have pulp, the pulp encased in the enamel and dentin. Okay. And then if you were to hit or drill too deep into the enamel and dentin, then you expose the pulp, and once the pulp is exposed, you can have infections.
Oh, dang.
Infections. Okay. So if that happens, then like you can't like there's protective procedures if you expose pulp, but the success rate is like very minimal. So if you were to fuck up and then like hit the pulp, then you got like blood squirting everywhere, and then now you have bacteria from your mouth that could go in and start infection and hit transfers all the way to your nerve. Then you have a toothache, and then now you need a root canal, or you need extraction, and that could have been the dentist's fault.
Totally.
So you never knew that, and then you would have not known. Especially, also you could have. There's a difference between a good restoration and a bad one. So like usually you have specific angles, margins, and dimensions that you want to keep, so that the restoration either amalgam, so the shiny silver metal, or the composite, so the plastic that matches the shade of your teeth. Whether that can not like just fall out when you're biting. You have specific angles, you have roughenings at areas, you have etching, all that. You have to make sure it's an art form, honestly.
That's cool.
The better dentist will keep in mind these dimensions and art forms, and you have a nice looking as well as a long lasting restoration.
Okay. Yeah. Dang. That's a lot to take into consideration, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I didn't realize, like, I mean, like, I get it, like, I can see the stress of working on someone's mouth, because it's like, dude, that's what they eat, that's where, like, you know, that's a lot of stuff goes on in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
But, like, when you like really break it down, it's like, holy shit, like, like it. I mean, it's like, I guess a lot like most like major stressful things, but like, you know, one small mistake and it's like, this is not good. Yeah. Like you then like next thing you're saying tooth is abscessed, or toothache, and then next thing you know you need a root canal. Like that sucks. Like that, like those are expensive. Like especially like, I mean, how's the odds, unless it's like a pretty obvious thing, how's the dentist gonna know that was caused from him, or like he's gonna think like
you're gonna like, so sometimes if you're feeling tooth pain, probably the cavitation of the cavity already and bacteria already reached your pulp, so it's broken down through the enamel, through the dentin, reach your pulp. That's why you have a toothache, and there's probably an abscess forming already. So that's probably not going to be the dentist when you're showing. He's just going to see the cavitation already. But like if you have just like a small cavity, and then you go in and they're drilling, and all of a sudden they drill, and then all of a sudden they poke through too hard, boom, you see the pulp exposure. Like they'll see it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, and it'll be fresh, like healthy, like red pink, like
like the
pulp.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and then they'll probably a good dentist will or a sneaky dentist will probably keep their cool, you know, and then they'll probably now have to take into the measures of like protecting the pulp and hoping for the best that it doesn't like progress.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, at the same time, you know, he's got to keep his cool. Like, they got to keep their cool, because I mean, if they're like, and then that's gonna make the patient nervous, right?
Exactly.
And then that's not gonna be good.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I get that. That's crazy. So like, I do have like another question here. So I never asked you this.
Yeah.
Why did you want to become a dentist?
It's like, so since you've known me, like you said, you've always heard that I wanted to be a dentist.
Yeah.
But like, it honestly really started when I was, when my parents immigrated to Canada.
Okay.
And then so like, my mom was taking care of me for the most part while my dad was going to school at McMaster in Ontario.
Okay.
But my mom also worked at a factory. And then they were low income, so I was pretty much taking care, like I was at the apartment by myself in the mornings to the afternoons until my mom came home. So I didn't really have anybody like, you know, telling me to brush my teeth, or my mom didn't even know the importance of me brushing my teeth.
Right.
And then she also worked at the factory that produced gumballs, like sugary treats. And then she would like bring some back for me, like as a treat or whatever for a long day. Then like, of course, as a kid, you have no self-control. You're eating sugary treats.
Totally.
Boom. So many cavities, so much pain. And then like, so all I'd known as a kid was visits to the dentist.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going in with massive toothaches. And then I go in, and I come out, I got like a shiny new crown, or I got my tooth pulled out, and the pain just erased, you know? And then I was like, wow, that's the greatest feeling ever.
Okay.
I know dentists. I was like, this is really cool. I want to go into this, you know, in the future.
That's kind of like, that's a cool story of like how it kind of was like this, like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, you felt like a bunch of pain. The dentist was like, I got you, man. Like,
yeah, it's a positive experience. Like, I don't know why, I couldn't understand as a kid why people hated going to the dentist, because I loved every experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the for me personally, the part that makes me so uncomfortable is just like, if I have to go and like get like a you know just any like dangerous, or not dangerous, but like any high tech work done, you know, like cavities, getting a crown in or something. It's just like, it's just uncomfortable. Yeah,
for sure. I can understand that. But as a dentist, if you want to be a good dentist, you have to have good social work skills, and you have to make sure you're like the patient feels comfortable with what you're doing. You're explaining everything, and then you're making sure that they trust you.
Of course, I mean, there's still gonna be some moments where they're like, "This is gonna make you feel a little uncomfortable. If it gets too much, let me know." Type thing. Like they've always been good. Yeah. It's just like, you know, going up as this like they like go for cleanings. I love going for cleanings because it's just like super chill. Yeah. You know, they take your X-rays if you haven't done it in a while, and then they just clean your teeth. Yeah. It's great. Yeah. And then it's just like, when I hear the drill in my teeth, I just get anxious. But a lot of people. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, how about the needle? How do you feel?
Like when I get my mouth frozen?
Yep.
It's not the worst. Like I prefer not, obviously. Yeah. But like when I need it, I kind of just like, you know, like probably like some people, I just kind of grab the chair and just kind of like try not, I don't look at the needle because like that would bother me. And I just kind of think about other things, and you know, the dentist is like, okay, so you're gonna feel a pinch in like 3, 2, and then boom, and you're like, okay, cool, 1 done, like. And I think they do it like, you know, depending on what they're doing, X amount of times, and then once it's numb, it's fine, but you know, it's not the worst, but you know, I definitely prefer not to have, you know, that's why I would rather take care of my teeth. Yeah,
that's the most important part.
Totally, man.
Take care of your teeth.
So this is the part of show Henry called the motivational moment. Mm-hmm. So how would you describe your passion in 5 words or less?
Okay, I want to like make out the point. So I'm passionate about dentistry, especially passionate about prevention. So like before any caries, cavities, or gum disease, whatever happens in your mouth. Totally. So I think people just don't understand. Here's my 5 words. Oral health is total health. Okay. So like your mouth is a part of your body.
Totally.
And a fun fact that one of my professors told me is that if you were to lay out and like cross section and remove all the gums and gingiva in your mouth and just spread it flat on a table, it's probably this it covers the length of your surface area of your forearm.
Oh wow.
Right, so if you had a big rash on your forearm, you're going to go see a family physician, get diagnosed.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Same thing in your mouth. You got gum disease, why don't you, go see a dentist? Or before that, why didn't you like floss, brush your teeth, all that, right?
Totally. Okay.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. It's smart thinking though. I mean, like, it's like anything. It's like you get a cold, your first thought is, I gotta get rid of it.
Right.
I mean, it's like, you get a toothache. I find like most people put it off.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, it's not bad yet.
Exactly.
And then they have it, instead of just going and get this little cavity removed that would probably cost them maybe a couple $100, now they're getting this, they're getting an abscess tooth removed, and then it's like, $800 or
exactly.
I don't know what the pricing is on that stuff, but it's a lot more expensive.
Exactly.
Just to like try and prolong it, which isn't good. It was like when I got my when I had to get this wisdom out, it all of a sudden it was like it bugged me for a while, and I was like, I just ignored it, and then it was like one day it was like, boom, we're infected, and I had to take antibiotics just to like calm it down, and then once it was gone, then luckily just after I finished the antibiotics, I was able to get into the specialist, and he was able to remove my tooth. Yeah. Like, I mean, after that, like, I was like, never again, right? Like,
exactly.
So I wouldn't want that.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's just a progression. Like, I understand there's certain cases where you can't afford to go to dentists, like, all of that. But I think that's a primary factor. That's the downside of privatized dentistry, I guess. But I heard about upsides is that if you see like European countries, their universal healthcare covers dentistry.
Okay.
But the thing is, when Europeans come over here for a dental appointment, they say, wow, there's such a difference in the quality of dental work.
Oh,
so over
okay.
there, I guess it's a little more shoddy compared to here. But like, of course, you're going to pay more.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's like the thing with most things. Like, the more you pay, the better the quality net that you're expected to see, right? But I mean, obviously, getting dentist work done is obviously usually like always. It's never about not wanting to go. It's mostly the financial factor.
Exactly, right? That's a huge thing. I just like, hopefully there's strides in the future to like have more plans or some, I guess, universal healthcare for dentistry.
Totally.
But I'm right now I know that low income families can like have subsidized care for dentistry, especially for their kids. And then, but the main thing is like, if you just wanted to avoid all of this in the first place, you should just floss and brush twice a day, Totally. Yeah, exactly. And it's like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes a day.
Like for both.
Yeah. Exactly. And then you got a brighter smile, a better looking smile, and you're reducing the risk of your cavities, gum disease, all of that. Like you bathe every day, you put soap on you, body wash, shampoo.
Totally.
Like, why can't you brush and floss?
This is true. You definitely have a point there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But yeah, well, that totally makes sense. I mean, the way you phrase it, it's just like, it's a no-brainer. Like,
exactly.
I always, the one thing I lack in is flossing.
Mm-hmm.
But I always, because I don't like using the rope. I like using like the little picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my preferred ones, and I do have them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me being lazy.
Yeah.
But like, I do use like the mouthwash, and I do the teeth brushing.
Yeah.
And then it's like you can feel the difference when you go to the dentist. Like, I love getting a cleaning because then you can feel all the spaces between your teeth.
Exactly.
And then I think it's been like a month now, and like most spaces are already gone now.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's why they ask you every 6 months to go twice a year. Boom.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. Now, once you're done like dental school, what's your plan for that? Because like you were telling me, like, you're about to hear like a potential opportunity in a week or so.
Yeah. So hopefully in the next week or so, I get a call to go into the Canadian Armed Forces. It's through the Dental Officer Training Program, where I applied, and I'm in the application process to hopefully be a future dentist for the Canadian Armed Forces. So where the perks of it was that my tuition is getting paid, so that's $50,000 per year. times 4.
Yeah.
So that's 200,000 that's getting taken care of, as well as I'm getting base salary, like around 60,000. Then like I have a guaranteed job after I graduate for the next 4 years.
Totally.
If I choose to stick with it, even afterwards. And then I'm making competitive wage as like a general dentist that would be making, say, in the Greater Toronto area. And then afterwards, I feel like I want to leave the military, but then I want to come back to Nanaimo and like set up my own practice, my own clinic.
And so like, why do you want to do that? Just because like you just have this like this goal to kind of like own a business type thing?
What I want is, I know every single dentist and single practice varies, right?
Okay.
So I envision like if I was to set up my own practice, I would probably feel confident in like the timing and the procedures, and I have all the tools and shit.
Totally.
So I feel confident into going for extraction, doing endo, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm fully capable. I start up my own practice, and I want to like make sure like each aspect is in a way friendlier or like more approachable to like
I see.
the wider audience, right?
Definitely. So like, you know, most people aren't like scared to come to the dentist type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to like have a primary focus of like pediatric dentistry, so I want to make it like kid friendly.
Totally.
Even though there's like already amazing pediatric dentists here, but like I wanted to just encompass a broad range from the elderly to the children, you know?
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that way, like, you know, it's just like, that way, you know, no one's afraid. It's like, you know, the mom's like, okay, we gotta go to the dentist today. The kids are like, sweet, I'm gonna go see Dr. Zhang. Like, this man's got me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like, they're all gonna be all excited because then you're just gonna be like, you know, they're gonna show up. There's gonna be like whatever, like kids area, or there's gonna be you know things like every practice, right? There's gonna be like the stuff, and I can see it. You know, the hype.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be nice. Just even chilling in the lounge, you know.
Totally, right?
It's gonna be hopefully like I'll make the environment like less stressful. All of that.
Totally. Like I think like the worst feeling is like when you're in like the lounge or like the waiting room and like. Just like dead silent.
Exactly.
And then like, you know, you got a couple kids playing, but like they're probably not the kids that are in like the back rooms, right? And then they're all doing their thing, and then you know, you're just sitting there waiting for your name to get called, and you're like, shit, like this. You're kind of like, depending on what you're doing, you might be stressing yourself out, like it's getting really bad, like.
Exactly.
So I mean, totally, like I get it.
Yeah.
So like I mean like it's like right now you could. If you had like the practice, you could have the Raptors game on. People get fired up because I mean, like, who's not excited about the Raptors right now? So just to like definitely bring like a new like I guess a more happier environment.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, not sacrificing like the quality of life.
Oh, of course not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be kind of sick. I'm envisioning like, and like. Just there's so much because it's my own clinic, so you can do whatever to it. You have all the necessities, right? You have the best of chairs, all of that. You have like flat screen TV, so you can like they're reclined. You're working on their mouth, of course, but they can watch TV, whatever.
Totally,
so it's all good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So another question about the military. Then, do you have to go through any military training?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So for when you apply and if you get accepted for 2 summers during school, you'll be going in for basic training.
Okay.
So you do everything like all the other applicants do. Not just you're not special. Like basic training is basic training. So you're doing it with like infantry applicants, medical officers, all of that. You're gonna do the basics, and that's gonna be like 3-4 months out of the 2 years in the summer. And once you're done that, you're in 3rd and 4th year of your services with them in the summers, you'll be actually going in and doing practical work aside of school. Yeah. So then and then once you graduate, you're the full-time dentist wherever they station you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then have you thought about where you'd like to be stationed?
I think I have a minuscule say to it because you only have so many bases around Canada. Yeah, and you just pick the top 3, but you're not guaranteed to go there.
Yeah. Like my buddy's brother, I think he chose Quebec somewhere. Don't know the other couple places. I think one of them might have been Edmonton.
Yeah.
And then he ended up getting Quebec, which is what he wanted.
Right.
So that was cool. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, there's not, because I don't think there's one in BC, or at least in like
not the populated areas. Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like, how do you feel about that training?
I feel like I don't really care. I feel like it's very doable.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just thing is, like, I feel like it won't be too hard, but it will definitely like give you a glimpse of what everyone's going through. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I like that because at least you're somewhat prepared for, like, in case like a combat situation or like just going from one location to the next type thing.
Right. Exactly. So
that's cool. So then, how, like, was it like quite a long process to apply for this program type thing, or is it just like submitted application type thing?
Yeah, so I had to do I have to apply, then you get a testing date for the Canadian Armed Forces aptitude test.
Yeah.
So like everybody does it, just like math, like shapes, visual things, English tests, whatever. You do that, and then you get through that. Then you move on to the medical interview, as well as the just the checkup and all of that, physical checkup. And you get through that, you pass through that, then you're into the applicant list cycle.
Okay.
And then they're going to compare your undergraduate marks, all of that, as well as your Canadian aptitude test, and your fitness, all of that. And then they rank you. And then I heard this year there's 13 applicants for the dental officers training program, 10 spots. So I'll have a really good chance.
That's a great that's a great chance. I mean, I was actually about to ask you how many spots they're taking, but I mean, 10 is really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, out of 13? Like, I mean, that's cool that they told you how many applicants there was.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's exciting, man. Like, now I'm fired up. Like, I know you're gonna get it.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, that's right. And then, so then as soon as you get accepted, does it kick in type thing?
Yeah, so then I'm like, I signed contracts. I'm locked in for 4 years while I'm doing school, and then another 4 years after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not gonna be that bad at all.
No.
At times, honestly, just fly by.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and like anyone that I know who's in the military, they seem to quite enjoy it. Like, they don't have, like, I mean, they're not like overly passionate about it, but they enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah, like, I mean, so after the 4 years, when is your so you get the program, you finish the 8 years with them. How long till you think you open your practice?
So what I'm trying to do right now, even in school, I'm trying to absorb as much as I can, practice as much as I can. Hopefully, so in the 4 years, if you're not in the military program, after 4 years of graduating, you did the boards exams, you passed, you're a dentist. You go in and you usually find a practice to associate at.
Okay.
So you work as an associate dentist.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Your hours are like up to the owners of the practice.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll be practicing doing everything. From what I've heard, it's more fast-paced, of course, than what you've learned in school, but you do everything. And then through the military, I feel like I'll be independent, kind of. I'll be my own dentist, but I have a lot of other dentists in the program that can like have guidance and show me the ways. I'm trying to refine my skills as much as I can, and I feel like 8 years of dentistry, I feel like I'll be solid if I put in the effort.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. As of right now, with what you've learned, what is like the hardest procedure you've had to practice?
The indirect vision. So if like you're working on like a molar or interproximal area, so like what I said, you're following the grooves, pits at specific dimensions, but you ever see those dental mirrors, the small circular ones? Yeah, so like you have loops on. I forgot to mention that. It helps with your ergonomics sitting upright.
Okay.
But it just magnifies whatever your field of view.
Oh, okay.
So it's handy for like drilling.
Yep.
And then you will have like the mirror inside the patient's mouth. Indirect vision, you're usually working on the upper teeth, and then so you're looking through that, and a mirror is a reflection of the surface that you're looking at. So you're kind of doing opposite of what
the inverse.
Yeah, the inverse, exactly. And then it's revving at 200,000 millimeters counts. You have to get the right angles.
Oh,
yeah,
that's stressful.
It's stressful. Yeah, holy.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, how many times have you had to perform that?
Right now, so like the first year is strictly mannequins.
Okay.
So mannequin plastic teeth.
Yep.
Set up, and then the chairs like almost identical to the like a clinic, but the mannequin is what you're working on. So if you fuck up, whatever.
Not a big deal.
Exactly. But like, so I've gotten a lot of practice with like every single teeth so far, and then all the classes up to 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good though. Were you able to like kind of practice as much as you wanted type thing, or were you only able to do like X amount of time?
Usually so in the labs we're gonna have classes and teeth. They're gonna be numbered, so you have like check marks. So it's gonna be a drill, like so preparation where you're drilling the surface of the teeth and whatever to remove the caries. Then you're gonna have the fill. So you either fill with amalgam, so the silver metal, or the composite that looks and matches with your teeth.
Okay.
You fill in, and you have to carve and like burr the specific shape and morphology and geometry of like what the natural tooth would have usually looked like without the decay, right?
Okay.
So we have a bunch of lists for the semester. We have to complete each of those and get it signed off by our instructors.
Okay.
And then I think through that I worked with every single teeth, but like I said, like we're not allowed to. We are allowed, but we have limited time.
Okay.
These preparations for us, especially in first year, take like longer than usual.
Yeah.
So we're getting the hang of it. So usually during the clinic hours directed for this procedure, we're like just finishing time, right? And then outside, like every week, you have 3 hours to just practice offside for the test.
Okay.
The same drill and fills, but like you only get maybe 2 teeth for each individual, and if you fuck up on one, like that's it. You have to like try and make it as best as you can for that one. You can't take out another teeth, shove it in, and retry it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's limited right now for sure.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like that's kind of cool though. I mean, at least you get like that extra practice time type thing.
Yeah.
And like that way you're gonna be more comfortable, especially when it comes to like practical tests and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Do you find like any like exams and stuff much more stressful than normal, or?
Yeah, it is, because the course load is heavy, but not only that, it's just like when you get hit with the exams, you get hit hard, because they'll usually be worth like 40-60%, even though it's not a final, it's just a midterm.
Wow.
So like you're studying like the course's material, like 20 lectures, worth of things for a midterm.
Totally.
And on top of that, like in 3 days' time, you have another thing for another course, 20 lectures.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're just like throwing these things at you like left, right, and center, right? Like they're just like, you should be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, Henry, I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Braden.
I appreciate it. Can the people find you anywhere? Do you have like Instagram or anything like that?
Nah, but I'll be back in the 9 with like, hopefully, 7 years, like come out to my practice.
That's right. When this man's got his practice, you'll be pumping out the people. He's gonna have the good quality, the good lounge, everything.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
If you like the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out the other videos, and we'll see. Oh, also you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff at Just Koryzma, and don't forget to hit me that follow. Check out the other shows. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.